Hi, everyone. I hope all is well. I'm getting settled in, but I'm still being processed. The day I arrived, everyone was very professional and efficient. My mom said I looked tired in my Department of Corrections photo. Someone else said I looked sad. I was neither. What happened was they told me where to stand and where to look at the cam. Right then someone flipped on 3 bright halogen lights. It was a look trying to stare at the sun. Or God. Laugh out loud. I was trying hard not to squint too much. Now I understand why Debbie Miller was squinting in her DOC photo. Nothing prepares the eyes for that flood of brightness. Then I was taken to CDU, Complex Detention Unit, and placed on watch. Suicide watch, that is, not for mental health reasons, I was told, since I wasn't suicidal, but for security reasons, whatever that means. After a week, I was brought over to Lonely. I was not put in Debbie's old cell. Lots of people thought so. Even I thought that was where I was going. I'm a few doors down. My cell is not blue, as many have thought. Further validation that you just can't trust the media. My cell is freshly painted white walls, gray desk and shelving, unfinished concrete floor. Still smells like paint. New, in other words. It feels clean. This place is teeming with little animals. Lots of different birds and prairie dogs, at least that's what everyone calls them. Running around. The prairie dogs are adorable. They look like a cross between a squirrel and a gopher. I saw one take off with a chunk of bologna the other day. Yep, there's bologna here. I also saw some officers dropping some poisonous pellets in their dens. Population control, I guess. Sad face. I won't go on too much about the food. It's a major improvement from my last location. Everyone says how awful the food at Mesa is. I didn't think so, it's just bland. My only complaint was that it's not sustainable for long-term inmates. It was all sugar and starch, which is soon to be sugar in the morning. I called it the diabetes-inducing diet. At night, we were served lots of soy protein, which Joe thinks is healthy but which studies show otherwise. I'm glad to now have a healthier, more wholesome, well-rounded diet. I'm currently segregated. Still, I've seen many familiar faces since arriving. Having been at Estrella for 6.5 years, I've seen many people go before me. Everyone's been kind, respectful, and warm. I've gotten some interesting feedback on my sentencing, most of it very supportive, even congratulatory. The general consensus that I'm getting is that people are glad I stuck up for myself. One girl said I have lady balls. One guy said what I said was way overboard. I'm sure it made some of my friends uncomfortable, and maybe even disappointed some of you. While that wasn't my intention, I have to say, I only wish I would have said more, not less. For example, I wish I would have stuck up for Juror 17 after you know who threw her under the bus, because we all know that there was not just one tainted juror, there were 11. I owe my life to number 17, and the least I could have done was stick up for her. But much of what I said was on the fly. It wasn't prepared. I had only intended to apologize and declare my commitment to pay restitution. Even though I wasn't the one who forced everyone to trial twice. No, of course I wasn't going to say that part. But Bryce was right about what he posted later that day. My statement was not an appeal for leniency. God himself could have parted the heavens and commanded the judge to be lenient. She would have disobeyed him. So after 2 trials with a corrupt prosecutor, then having to listen to more lies and distortions of facts from the Travis Alexander camp of sentencing, well, my high tolerance for BS had simply reached its maximum capacity. I consulted with my legal team. They gave their blessing. They said, do it. You know she's gonna give you natural life today. You have nothing to lose. So I spoke my mind. Like I said, My only regret is that I didn't say more. If you wrote a letter to the judge, thank you. It's probably not something one does very often. The judge took 10 minutes to read, what? Almost 80 letters? Which doesn't include the 75 feet of travel time from the bench to chambers and back. I've gotten lots of mail. I'm not able to buy envelope paper yet, so don't give up on me if you don't hear back for a little while. I don't know how long they'll keep me in limbo. If you wrote the first week, and I received it, you'll be getting a mini note from me. Thank you all so much. I'm really not worthy. Your love, support, friendship are precious to me. Deep, deep gratitude for each of you. Jodi Arias. P.S. Lots of people have written expressing concern about sending photos and putting me over my limit. Don't worry about that. Let me manage my photos. Send away.